Hello and welcome to another episode of Talking Politics on the Hindu's YouTube channel. I'm Nistula Hebbar, the political editor of the paper. On this show, where we navigate stories hitting the headlines in domestic politics. Now, much of the last week was given over to this clamor over whether Chief Minister of Karnataka, Siddaramaiah, would be able to finish his full 5-year term, or will he give way to his deputy, D.K. Shivkumar, according to, and this is claimed by D.K. Shivkumar's supporters, this kind of an agreement that was made in 2023 when the Congress came back to power in Karnataka, that the Chief Minister's term would be split into two and a half years between Siddaramaiah and D.K. Shivkumar. Now, this episode of Talking Politics, therefore, will look at the continuing differences in Karnataka Congress and the Siddaramaiah versus D.K. Shivkumar fight. As always, let's begin with the story so far. So the tug of war between Chief Minister Siddaramaiah and his deputy D.K. Shivkumar has been on since the Karnataka Assembly polls in 2023. Now, in the run-up to it, there had been a lot of chatter on who would be the Chief Minister of the party, of the government, if the party got elected. Now, this time around, Shivkumar assumed that as the state party president and his continued loyalty to the Congress party through various troubles of his own, legal troubles. He was jailed. Then he also helped save many Congress governments across the country by hosting Congress MLAs in Karnataka, etc. That finally, and of course, being a very good fundraiser and resource person, making sure that the H.D. Devegowda family was in a retreat in the Vokkaliga heartland of Old Mysore and even in Hassan. So he thought that, he had a good enough chance of being made Chief Minister. And also because Siddaramaiah, who had come to the Congress from the JDS, had already had one term between 2013 and 2018. In the ticket distribution itself, however, it was clear that Siddaramaiah had managed more tickets for his loyalists than did Shivkumar. In the caste equation stakes, Siddaramaiah of the backward Kuruba or Shepherd community has the support of the Ahinda bloc, that is backward classes and minorities, while D.K. Shivkumar is a Vokkaliga and enjoys the support from the community. As I said before, he was instrumental in reducing the footprint of the Devegowda clan in Old Mysore and Hassan belt, which was of great importance to the Congress party, because there are two big dominant communities in Karnataka politics. One is the Vokkaliga, and the other, which is the Gaudas, and the other are the Lingayats. The Lingayats largely had supported the BJP in the past because of B.S. Yediyurappa and now his son Vijayendra. But in the last election, because Yediyurappa was removed from his chief ministership before he could complete it, the Congress basically got a fair bit of Lingayat support, which was miffed at the BJP, so the Congress got it in lieu of that. But largely it is Vokkaligas, backwards and minorities. So the Vokkaligas go with D.K. Shivkumar and backwards and minorities are set to be with Siddaramaiah. After the polls, the Congress High Command decided that Siddaramaiah would be Chief Minister and Shivkumar his deputy. At that time, Shivkumar and his supporters said that a deal of a 50-50 split in term had been decided upon, and they largely held their peace. It was said that the leader of the opposition in the Lok Sabha, Rahul Gandhi, was in favor of Siddaramaiah and not the rough diamond ways of Shivkumar. In any case, time went by, and as the September deadline of a 2.5-year term split time was approaching, things started happening. Now, what are these things? Now, the current spell of speculation with regard to the Chief Minister's position began with a sort of a cryptic comment by Cooperation Minister K.N. Rajanna that big changes were due in September. Now, coming from a Siddaramaiah loyalist, speculation was rife that Rajanna was hinting at a cabinet reshuffle or a new Pradesh Congress Committee chief. Shivkumar is still serving as the PCC chief, it's an extended tenure, and people like Rajanna who are backing Siddaramaiah are pressing for a change, saying that you cannot be party president and deputy chief minister, you have to give one up. Although Rajanna didn't elaborate on what these changes would be, other voices soon joined the chorus. Ramnagar MLA H.A. Iqbal Hussain, who's a Shivakumar loyalist, said that the latter deserved a chance to become the chief minister, having led the party to power as the president of the Congress in the state. Now, the mismanagement of the Royal Challengers Bangalore victory parade that saw a stampede that led to the death of at least 11 people and around 50 injured has also played into this scenario. And a very close aide of Siddaramaiah was made to quit, and there was a lot of criticism of the way that the Siddaramaiah government handled this situation by suspending police officers rather than acknowledging that it could have been, the buck stops with the administration, and somebody in the government also needs to take responsibility for what happened. Now, to resolve all that, Siddaramaiah came to Delhi saying that he wants to have a cabinet reshuffle. He wants to kind of give a big boost to the administrative acumen at his disposal, the talent pool at his disposal. But D.K. Shivkumar has opposed it, saying that if he's going to be chief minister in September, what is the point of having a reshuffle now? And that he'd rather start with a clean slate, become chief minister, and redraw the contours of the Karnataka government. Now, things got even more loud when individual MLAs started airing their complaints. Allegations were made by B.R. Patil, a senior Congress legislator from Aland, about corruption in a housing scheme for the poor. MLA Raju Kage threatened to resign, complaining about delayed work orders for projects sanctioned in his constituency. All these things point to the fact that the Karnataka Congress, especially its legislative party, is extremely restive. People are taking sides. People who believe that they may have some chance of becoming a minister soon are positioning themselves in one camp or the other. Now, all this has seen AICC General Secretary in charge of Karnataka, Randeep Surjewala, head to Bengaluru for what was termed as a consultation with MLAs with regard to the implementation of the election promises made by the Congress government and the issues attached to that, which is that it is financially profligate and the government doesn't have too much money to spare to give to the Congress MLAs for works in their constituencies, etc. Now, even as Surjewala was in Bengaluru, Chief Minister Siddaramaiah declared that he was going to be Chief Minister for the full 5-year term, while D.K. Shivkumar responded that he would do what the High Command ordered him to. And in fact, D.K. Shivkumar's playbook, after aggressively lobbying for the Chief Minister's chair, has been to basically lean on his previous record of always being there for the party, for anything that the party required, both in terms of material and other resources, of sticking to the party even when the BJP went after him in legal cases, and not giving up on anybody, and then of course leading the party to victory. So that is how the situation is at the moment. Now, historically, splitting of terms of chief minister has never worked out. Even prime ministers has never worked out. If you remember the Janata Party government of 77 to 79, Janata Party fell on these kind of issues. In the early 2000s, in fact, when the BJP and the Janata Dal S were coalition partners for the first time, and it was decided that H.D. Kumaraswamy would be chief minister for the first 2.5 years of that government, he refused to vacate after his term was over, 2.5-year term was done. This led to the fall of that government and the election of the first BJP government in the state. B.H. Yediyurappa became chief minister. There was that Operation Kamala to bolster the numbers of the BJP there and change the history of Karnataka politics thereon. Now, in Chhattisgarh, between 2018 and 23, we saw the same thing happened. Despite many efforts, Chief Minister Bhupesh Baghel completed his 5-year term, even as claims of a 50-50 split term with T.S. Singhdeo talks about it went on for quite a while, but nothing happened. Now, going by form, it seems unlikely that this split of term will take place this time around as well. Also, of course, the fact that, Siddaramaiah is quite a favorite with Rahul Gandhi and the Gandhi family, rather more so than DK Shivkumar. And it is being said that even if Siddaramaiah gives way, of the fact that the caste survey commissioned by his government in its previous term being scrapped because of issues with regard to its integrity raised by these two dominant communities of Vokkalega and Lingayats could mean that no candidate from either community could get a look in. I mean, people would say that, okay, first you scrap the caste survey, which is not very favorable to the Lingayat and the Vokkalega communities, okay. And then you remove a backward community chief minister to install a Vokkalega chief minister. That's going to lead to some sort of an alienation among backward communities. So that could be an issue, and that could be a factor that the Congress may take on board. In such a situation, it is also being said that Home Minister D. Parameshwara may be the compromise candidate. A Dalit chief minister could solve a lot of social equation problems for the Congress in Karnataka. In any case, changes of chief ministers are a major upheaval. Even in command-centric BJP, BJP has also had its own sort of issues with changing chief ministers in the past, even in the era of this complete control by Prime Minister Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah over the BJP rank and file. And the Congress sees more complications because of openly competing interests. Surjewala, in his talks with the MLAs, would have gauged the support bases of both leaders within the legislature parties of the Congress. What is certain is that this story is unlikely to end soon, and we must track how these ambitions play out in state politics going ahead. This is all I have for you this week. Thank you so much for watching. I shall see you next week.